Greetings and adorations, everyone. It is KJ and I am back. Today, we're going to do something today for this lesson that I have not seen done. I don't see anybody putting anything like this out, and it's very sad because this is a key element of being a great guitar player. And that is, of course, how to properly practice the guitar in order to compose catchy hook riffs. Hook riffs are very important. Hook riffs lend themselves to the rhythm and also to your solos. And as a side note, just really quick, so you guys know what I'm using, what my tuning is. Okay, this is my agile right-handed flying V. As you can see, it's upside down, but my camera mirror images. I don't know why, but regardless. What is important is, it is a right-handed model. I'm playing upside down. I'm going to give you my low E. Okay, here goes the low E. Alright, and then the A. And I'll throw the D in there too. Everyone, so now we are going to begin this. Again, I just want to emphasize the fact of what I'm using with regard to my Boss Katana, the MK2. Per usual, it is on the lead channel. I have the gain all the way up. My treble is all the way up. My bass knob is at about 10%. Or I'm sorry, not 10%, 40%. It is almost halfway, so it's like at the 10 o'clock position. Like if you were imagining a clock, it's at about 10 o'clock. All right, then, my delay, and I've gotten some comments posted, people complaining, oh, I wish you didn't have the delay. Well, let me emphasize this fact and stress this point, okay? Back in 1977, there was an album, I was just talking to a friend of mine today about this, the Alice Cooper Show, with Dick Wagner on guitar. Those of you that are not familiar with this album, I highly recommend it. It is one of the greatest live albums ever recorded. The guitar tone that Dick Wagner has on that Alice Cooper Show is phenomenal, especially for the Black Widow and Go to Hell, of course, and School's Out, you know, all the heavier stuff that he did back in the day. 18, $1 Billion Babies, it's all on there. Alright, so my point with that is Dick Wagner was using delay and distortion and reverb. Ever since my youth, I've always been attracted to that tone. You know, Ace Frehley has it on with Eddie Kramer on the Live 2 for Shock Me. You can hear it very distinctly. Eddie Van Halen, the first two albums, definitely has it. Also, he's got flange, phaser, as well as echo. Okay? Which, the echo is phenomenal, especially in conjunction with delay and reverb. But I do not have that. If I still had my line 6, the Spider 1, 2, or 3, I would have it. Alright, so, yeah, that's about it. And my volume is at about 12 o'clock. Just about at 12 o'clock. All right, so here we go. We're going to jump right into this. And I'm going to show you guys again how to properly practice the guitar in order to come up with and create catchy hook riffs. So the first thing we're going to do, this is going to be part 1, by the way, because I'm going to give you guys 3 ideas, all right, and then into the second one, I'm going to show you some other stuff as well as soloing. But for right now, hook riff writing, all right? So here's what we want to do. We're going to start on the low E string at the 9th fret. Low E, 10th fret, low E, 12th fret. And we're going to use pedal tones. All right, here's what I mean by this, okay? And also, secondarily, we're going to use the low E on the 7th fret, low E on the 9th fret, low E on the 10th fret, okay? So follow suit. Now, here's what I mean by pedal tone. We're going to find a note that sounds good with the 3rd note we're utilizing on the A string. Here's what I mean. So what I'm doing when I climb from the 9th fret to the 10th fret to the 12th fret on the low E, all right, then I'm going to go to this note right here on the A string on the 9th fret, and then again climb this series of 3 notes from the 9th, the 10th to the 12th, and then I'm going to go to this note right here on the A string on the 10th fret, and again resuming the climb from the 9th to the 10th to the 12th, and then I'm going to use my ring finger and go to the A string on the 12th fret. Again, very slowly, like so. Now, for the second 3 notes that I mentioned, we're going to go from 7 to 9 to 10 on the low E as well. Okay, now a little faster. And with that, after I climb the series of notes, now what I did is just pulled off. I picked once and kept my fingers on the A string on the 10th, the 9th, and the 7th, and pulled off. And went down to the 7th and the 9th. So again, let me show you what I mean. Like that. So all that together. And now adding in some artificial harmonics and a little bit of bending and maybe some legato, and it would go like this. Another method would be from the 7th and the 9th on the low E and the E, or I'm sorry, the low E and the A is what I meant to say. Okay. let's try something a little different. Now what we're going to do is ride the low E string, grab onto the A on the 7th. We're going to go back and forth between the 7th fret on the A and the 8th fret on the A and riding that low E. And that was just going down from the 10th to the 9th on the D, and then the 10th and the 9th on the A, and then going back to hitting the low E open, and then grabbing on to the 7th fret of the E. So. Those are octave chords. So what I'm doing is I'm using the fatty part of my index finger to basically mute the A string while gripping the low E, okay, and using my ring finger on the D string. And when you slide that around, like you're getting these octave chords, like so. So you're not striking the E string, or the A string, I mean. You're muting the A string. Similar but different on the D and the G string. Same thing, except we're going to mute out the D string. So we're going from the A and the G, okay? We're using those two strings like so. But in order to use the pick to get that, you want to mute out the D string by using a part of your index finger to just rest across it without it ringing out, all right? Okay, so again. I think that'll do it for this one, everyone. And I will be back with part 2. And we will recap some of this, and we'll add some new dimensions to it. We'll work on some soloing and some other chords. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you soon. Have a great one, everyone.